With just 2 weeks to go until Election Day, more than 17 million Americans have already voted, showing that early voting, mail voting, that is a big old thing now, and it's unlikely to change. People like it. They like the convenience of it. And it also shows that they're very interested in what happens in this election because people are really turning out. In North Carolina, we've had 353,000 early votes. Louisiana has 177, despite the fact that I don't know if there's like a contested election that matters in Louisiana. I'm being flippant, but Georgia, 1.5 million people have already voted. Now, Republicans are still trailing in the early vote. Not as many Republicans are turning out as Democrats, but a little bit of bad news for the Democrats. The gap is not as big as it was in 2020. So the years of demonizing early voting, mail-in voting, all of that from Republicans apparently has not 100% worked because some of their base would prefer to win elections rather than just demonize practices that have been in use for literally decades. And anyway, I want to give you some examples. So in Pennsylvania, more than 580,000 Democrats have returned their mail ballots compared to just 254,000 Republicans. But in 2020, Republican ballots were only 23% of the total votes cast by mail. That is now 27%. So they are a little bit higher. And again, these are all expected to be very close elections. That could be enough.
A storm is tearing up the digital media industry. Only our audience can save us in these difficult times. Help us reach our goal of 100,000 new members at tyt.com/team.
As of Monday, let's see, 53,000 Democrats have returned mail ballots. I think this is in Nevada, I believe, compared to 37,000 Republicans. But the gap was much larger in 2020. And I also wanted to mention another interesting trend. This is not new. I just find it to be fascinating. In Georgia, 55% of the early vote has been cast by women. In North Carolina, it's 52%. In Michigan, it's 56%. And in general, women do vote at higher rates. In the last presidential election, 68% of eligible women voted, only 65% of eligible men. So, I mean, Trump has done a lot to try to inspire men, particularly young men who watch Rumble shows, to participate this time around. We'll see if that helps bring those numbers closer together. But yes, what do you think about these voter numbers?
I think overall they are very encouraging. I think the more that people are engaging in the democratic process, I think that's always a good thing, even if things don't always go the way that you would like them to. I actually, yesterday was the first day of early voting here in Texas, and I was there within an hour of the polls opening, not because I just had to get there first, but because I didn't want to wait in any lines. And I didn't. I just walked right in. It was very easy, cast my vote and walked out. My friend in a different part of the city, though, she went maybe just an hour or two after I did, and she had to wait for an hour and a half in a line.
Wow.
And so it is very encouraging. And also, I know we've been seeing these record-setting numbers in different states. Here in Texas, I know specifically in the northern part of the state, like in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, they also saw record numbers of voters turning out to the polls yesterday, especially again in Tarrant County, which is Fort Worth, and that's where it typically goes red, but maybe we could see something shifting up there. So.
Fingers crossed. We'll see. It's very exciting, obviously very consequential. And so just trying to get as much information as we can.